I'm just starting and stopping the clips, but in battle rap topics, the thing that everybody has been talking about for a couple of days is the spaces and Midnight Madness. The end of Midnight Madness, has it come to an end? Did the spaces ruin battle rap? We're going to talk about that too. Verb, always quick to respond to any situation really, but particularly one involving surf, one involving Midnight Madness, one involving the spaces. We're going to hear what he had to say on the topic. Bill Collector is starting a new league. We're going to see what little information we know about that. We're going to see what the culture has to say about the tweets, and we're going to look at J2 and Prestavia. So let's get into all of that. First, so Midnight Madness. Excuse me, Midnight Madness has appeared to have imploded after the fallout from the Snakeyez and Stumbles battle. Briefly recap: Stumbles and Snakeyez were supposed to battle on, was it the initiation card on URL? There was, let's say, an upset at that event, and they fought for the belt, but there was no battle. They managed to settle their differences like men, and the battle went ahead on the UM5 semi-finals card recently. And at the last minute, Snakeyez put the hardcore belt on the line, the Midnight Madness belt on the line. And even later than that, it was announced that Surf would be adding the Midnight Madness element of money on the floor to all of the one-off battles that were on that semi-final, UM5 semi-final card. Now, Stumbles had a major upset on the night, and he beat, to many people's surprise, beat Snakeyez, really convincing or really clear win, deserved win, and won the belt. But shortly afterwards, he came out and said, I don't want the belt. I'm giving it back. I'm not defending it. And do you know what? Never really wanted it anyway. Which, fair play. Oh, I need to stop showing my damn email. Where? What am I don't even know what I'm looking for. What am I looking for? Okay, my notes, and I found them. Yeah, it's really late for me over here, so I have to stick to my notes, otherwise I forget everything. So yeah, he said he wasn't doing the belt, but then everyone was pretty cool with that. The culture was pretty cool with that. Not that, they've got a right not to be. But oh no, that's what I was looking for. Your comments. I had my thingies up. Okay, here they are, and I really thought I'd arranged all my screens in such a perfect way. Balti Lily, this is my first time catching the show. Balti, do I recognise you from Doc Petty's Spaces? I feel like I recognise that profile picture from earlier on. If that's you, and if it's not you, thank you for pulling up either way. I think they should have never battled, says Melanin. It seemed to reignite the drama. I think it definitely afterwards reignited the drama, but the build up to the battle was pretty drama free. They didn't have a face off, right? Or they had an online face off, didn't have one in person, which I thought was a really good call. I'm sure they didn't have a face off in person, and I'm not making that up, but they had one online, I think on Black Compass Media. Shout out to them. And yeah, the battle went really well. There was no issues at the event or online after the event. It only kind of it seemed to be with Stumbles, which reignited it afterwards. We're gonna get to that, Trubs. What Big T is saying. we almost saw what rappers are on London Jen's inbox. There are no, that's my email inbox, and there are no rappers in my inbox anyway on my social media, unless we're talking about interviews. But yeah, that's my that's where that's where I do my work from, my email. So yeah, I don't need you to see that. Trapsalutely, shout out Will Spiff. London Jen is the best. Oh, thank you for sharing the broadcast and for pulling up. I hope I've got my Narminaries right. If you're not following my bro Trapsalutely already, definitely do. But yeah, getting back to that. This is why I posed the question: was it, was it cursed from the beginning? Because this is now Stumbles is giving back the belt after he already had to give back the belt. I think Surf made a new belt. He went to give back. He was told to give back the belt that he stole, but I think they made or took or whatever one that he acquired. He acquired the first belt after the first non-match, and then he won legitimately the second belt. Said I don't want it. And then came out in the spaces and basically basically said acquired. I mean, that's the first time it's been described as that. He came out in the spaces, said he didn't want the belt, really amicably at first, thanked I think his opponent for the battle. Things were cool with him and Snakeyez, things were cool with him and Midnight Madness, and then he said that basically he didn't pay him. Surf, he didn't get his money for the battle. Now on the night, I think Surf or Midnight Madness was supposed to put up $2,000. What's the guy's name? Is it Fireboy Fire? There was a supporter there on the night. Salute, big salute to him, because he threw down an extra $2,000 to add to the money on the floor. So I think Stumbles was supposed to walk away with was it 4,000, 5,000, whatever it was. He was supposed to walk away with that, but he came out and said, "Yo, Surf, you haven't given me my money. I haven't got any money from Midnight Madness yet. I need my money." And he was very vocal about it. Started spaces about it. Went other people's spaces about it. And I think at one point even created a GoFundMe to I don't know if he created it or if it was created on his behalf, but I shouldn't report what I hear. I should fact check this, but I didn't fact check it. But there was a GoFundMe, and money was raised for him. Now, Surf responded in a very Surf-like way. I think he went in the spaces with Kola, where Kola from Black Compass Media was talking about it. And he basically ranted against Stumbles, said he was quick to come out and accuse him of not giving him the money. He's saying Surf said he didn't have any idea until the day of the event that there was money on the line. Why should he have to pony up money when battlers all of a sudden decide that they want to put up their belts, type thing? And said a lot in Surf way. I've kind of paraphrased an awful lot, cleaned it up. There was probably some SMDs in there or something. I think that Stumbles tried to join the space and have a conversation with Surf, and Surf said, if you let him in, I'm going to violate him. Kola, I think wisely decided not to encourage that conversation. It's his decision as to let in his space, but that could have been resolved potentially there on the space, but it could have also gone all the way left, and who knows what happens when that happens. So yeah, he didn't allow them to talk. Now he said, what did he say? He said he didn't have anything to do with it. The idea was put to him, and at the last minute, because he couldn't go down to the event, he wasn't gonna put the money up. Lots of things were said, but he also said that he's the only one paying for Midnight Madness. He's the one who's running it. He's responsible. He owns Midnight Madness 100%. It's all his. but also said if it's a three-headed monster, why is it only one pocket? Um, Now, if it's if he's saying it's all mine, I own it, you would think then that you should be financially responsible for it, which is a big old fib, says Balti Lily. Now, you heard he made almost 2K out of it. Is that the GoFundMe? Is that how much he made? I'm not sure. Like I said, I didn't even fact check that it existed, so I don't know. Um, Now, yeah, he says then he says that, I've paid for everything. I can show you receipts for the two Midnight Madness events. But the thing is, Midnight Madness have had 4 events so far, and JakkBoy has come out and said, yeah, I threw an event, Bill threw an event, and we were separately responsible for each of those events. I paid for mine, Bill paid for his, Surf didn't pay for either of those, and we didn't pay anything for the first two Midnight Madness events. But Surf is, well, we'll get to JakkBoy. But yeah, Surf basically says, why am I the one financially responsible? But he can't have it both ways. If you own it, then surely you should be financially responsible. And he also made a point about battlers putting their own money up. That was always a part of it, and there was always supposed to be kind of money put on the floor by the league, but battlers also supposed to be putting their money up, in a putting your money where your mouth is type thing, showing how much you believe in yourself, adding a bit more excitement, the chance to lose your own money. And JakkBoy is saying that didn't happen until Bill Collector's event, which is literally called "Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is." And he says that Surf had sponsors he's the only one who had sponsors for the event. But yeah, Bill comes out after Surf says what he says on in the Cola Spaces, where basically says it's all mine. Full disclosure, Surf does give credit to Bill Collector and Jack for being a part of Midnight Madness. I can't remember actual quotes, but it's not like he discounts them completely. But what he does do is really downplay their involvement, especially on a financial level, unless he doesn't see their two events as Midnight Madness events, in which case, fair enough. But one is the Midnight Madness Gauntlet, one was Midnight Madness Put Your Money, they were marketed and branded as Midnight Madness events, but he completely seemed to discount those and said, I'm the only one who's paying for anything. Bill Collector comes out, and this is I think the next day, and he says, as of today, I'm officially removing myself from all Midnight Madness anything. I'm cool on all the controversial drama and weird stuff that keeps happening. I've spent far too much of my own money to be downplayed, focusing on my own brands. Salute to those that support. So he's saying, not only have I made a financial contribution, I've made a significant one. It's too much. It's not worth it. I'm not here for the drama. I'm doing me now. And he says that all the battles from my very expensive Philly card will drop every Friday for the next 3 Fridays. That is dope. If you haven't seen the battle quick promo here between Henny Man and what's his name? True. Fuck. Sorry, I've forgotten his name. Henny collected the biggest, picked up the most money on the floor yet from Midnight Madness, and had a crazy performance, won every round. Super proud of him for that battle. I think we'll watch it actually later in the week. I'm saying later in the week like it's not Wednesday, maybe tomorrow. We'll watch that one. Dope battle, go and check it out. But yeah, he says his Philly card was super expensive. I'm dropping the battles for the next 3 Fridays. No animosity or beef, just time for me is all. So he's left. He's quit. One of the three-headed, one of the three heads of the three-headed monster has left. Um, JakkBoy May now, the one of the other players, significant players in the Midnight Madness trifecta. He also gets in the spaces with Cola and objects basically to the conversation that Cola had with Surf, and has a big problem not with just what Surf said, but with, why haven't I got earrings on? Let's fix this right now. I knew there was something missing. Oh, goodness gracious. So he gets in the spaces with Cola and says, yeah, I don't like the fact that Surf was down playing with us, and I don't like the fact that you let him do it. You know that that me and Bill were a huge part of behind, you know, the Midnight Madness operation, and you allowed him to downplay us. Now, Cola basically, from his part, is he said, I can only go on what Surf said. When you're talking about the money, I don't know about the money. Surf saying it, I can't dispute that. I don't know that much behind the scenes. But in the conversation now, it's Cola's space, and he was basically muting JakkBoy a lot to get his point across. But JakkBoy felt like he couldn't get his point across. He wasn't allowed to kind of express himself at all, and kept being muted by Cola, which he thought was really corny. So he starts his own space basically, and gives his side of the story. Like I said, he says that you know, we were all responsible for Midnight Madness, and I don't. He went off on Cola, went off on Surf. Has gone off on Surf, to be fair, several times in the past, even though he is part of, you know, the original Midnight Madness trio. He and Surf have clashed in a I guess friendly way quite a lot in the past, but yeah, he really wasn't happy, and him and Cola went back and forth online, um, and yeah, I said it was corny that that he was muting him and allowed Surf to downplay them. He he fires off this tweet which OTFMZ have captured. I meant to have it here. I don't think I do. Damn, that's annoying. And he basically, it was like a warning to tweet to Surf. He's saying you're lying. Basically, he's saying Surf knew all about Midnight Madness way before the morning of. He said Surf retweeted URL's Midnight Madness tweet where they announced that Surf would be putting money on the floor. Surf retweeted that with the purple demon emojis. So Jack is saying he's lying when he says he didn't know, because it was clearly mentioned in that tweet that money on the floor would be put down for all of the battles. So when Surf is saying I didn't know until the morning of that I've got to put up $2,000, JakkBoy is saying that's all cap. And yeah, basically says I'm gonna keep terrorizing you because it's fun. Or no, he says that actually on Angry Fan. Let's I meant to get a couple of clips, but he says on the Angry Fan video, he says basically at first that he's still Midnight Madness. He's just pissed with how it's been handled. Him and Surf have had issues in the past, but then I think when he gets more into the Cola thing, explains his Cola issues, he's heated. And when Angry Fan again asks him, so what's the deal with you and Midnight Madness? JakkBoy says, no, I'm done. Midnight Madness. Me and Bill are going to do our own thing. We're going to start our own league. I don't want to be part of Midnight Madness anymore. Um, so yeah, he says that the money on the floor idea for the stumbles and snake battle actually all came from him, but he called it off when he realized that when he knew that, you know, the Midnight Madness guys couldn't get down to the battle, so it would be a no-go. He said he let the league know, he let Snake and Stumbles know, they all knew, but it was somehow, you know, arranged behind the scenes that it would all go ahead. Um, Either way, yeah, it worked out the way it did, and now we're at the stage where we're at, where Jack and Bill both say they are leaving. Now, who is that? Bear with me just a second. Sorry, my son has just come home. Um, Now, where on earth was I? Uh, yes, so Bill, Jack, leave Midnight Madness. We haven't heard yet in response from Surf, but Bill Collector says he's starting a new league. He took to Twitter shortly before we went live, or I went live. Why are you not showing? To announce that he is booking battles for Sudden Death Battle League today. Contact me or Kimotosis. Why don't I know what that says? But that's Auntie Kim. If you know, if you're in the Twitter spaces, if you're on Battle Rap Twitter, you are very familiar with Auntie Kim. She was also very involved with the running and support of Midnight Madness. I'm sure she did a lot behind the scenes, so she's obviously involved in this one as well. So shout out to Auntie Kim. Shout out to Bill for Sudden Death Battle League. He says he's booking today for the Industry Ready Showcase Series. Tag an artist or battler you would like to see perform, both in Philly, early August. So, Sudden Death Battle League and also Industry Ready Showcase Series. That sounds like two different events. One is for artists, it seems like, not exclusively battle rappers, and the other is a battle league with the first event in Philly. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a Philly based league. Maybe he'll take it on the road. Who knows? Maybe there's a big Philly card in early August. Maybe he's going to do what Midnight Madness did and attach, you know, arrange events around the big URL events, so that you've got, you know, or big events, big event weekends where you've got already a crowd there. You've got some of the battlers in attendance already, or just an extra incentive. Either way, how are we feeling about Bill Collector's new league? Black T says Surf is really ruining the best thing he could have done for battle rap. Surf sounds like the type to say a bunch of shit in the heat of the moment, then apologizes behind the scenes. Well, I mean, I just mentioned Surf going in the spaces with Cola. The two of them had a very public falling out recently over the Surf ghostwriting, or not ghostwriting, the stealing Quilly bars allegations, and that happened very publicly. He said, you know, said a lot about Cola. Several SMDs kind of belittled him. I don't know what their relationship is, but now they seem to be cool again. They said they had a discussion behind the scenes, and now all is well with them. I don't think this is sort of, you know, we've seen this sort of behaviour from Surf. We're going to get to Verb in a second. He's calling out some other behaviour. But Surf kind of has almost an invincibility cloak. Um, he really is the epitome of all publicity is good publicity. And it seems like no matter what he does in the culture, he is forgiven. And, or whoever he kind of clashes with, pretty much it's all forgiven, or it's got to be patched up. He's got too many relationships, he's close to too many people. I don't know what it is, but he gets, he even if he's called out on his bullshit, because often it is bullshit, he's completely in the wrong, in my opinion. He's, like I say, impenetrable. It doesn't it's like water off a duck's back, and he just rises on to the next situation, or he completely spins and spins the situation into his favor so he can capitalize off it. But JakkBoy seems to be on a mission, on a mission. What was, did I have another tweet? Did I not have another tweet or another note? What was it from JakkBoy this morning? I think there was something else this morning as well. That only lasts so long. For Surf, it's been lasting, it's working. It's been working for a very long time. But I think what happens when you're in that situation is that at some point, the Benny Blanco situation. Is it Benny Blanco from the Bronx? Longer it lasts, the bigger it falls. That's a big fact. That is a big fact. Benny Blanco from the Bronx in what's the movie? Is it Goodfellas? Damn, I'm getting my movies confused. But yeah, the little upstart who he kind of double cross is the one who comes and kills him at the end of the train platform. The guy you screwed over along your rise to the top is the one who comes and bites you in the ass at the end and causes your downfall. It's a tale as old as time, kind of. And Surf is going to keep thinking he's invincible until one day. That's the probability, because like I say, when you build yourself up with that kind of to that stage, it can be just a matter of time before you are pushed right back down. So we'll see how this plays out. Is this the end of Midnight Madness? However, I think, have I got, okay, do I think this is the end of it? I don't think so. And I think this is not even the last chapter necessarily with Bill and JakkBoy with Midnight Madness. I could be wrong. I could be very, very wrong. I don't know what's gone behind the scenes. I don't know their relationships. In battle rap, often, things are blown into huge proportion. We talk about every little thing. There's been how many, the amount of talking hours spoken about the spaces, about Midnight Madness, about all of that, or the fallout from the last Snakeyez and Stumbles battle. Never mind the first one, never mind the belts, never mind all of that. Just the fallout from the recent stuff has, given thousands of talking minutes to the culture. So these things get blown to a huge sort of proportion, and some often behind the scenes, quite calm heads tend to prevail. I don't know if that's the situation here. I do think the Midnight Madness brand still has legs. Surf is still at the helm of it, and Midnight Madness has so much potential. It really does. It really does have so much potential. And I was saying, did I say this earlier on? Did I say this in the spaces? Did I say this here? I can't remember. But either way, it's a blueprint. Even if Midnight Madness does not continue, it's a potential blueprint for somebody else to come and capitalize and create something. But I think Midnight Madness itself has just been a really dope kind of 6 months. It was like a honeymoon romance, and you get to the end of it and it's all fake and lies, and built on a shaky foundation, which is how Henny categorize it. Shout out to my co-host, my battle rap trap fam, and my friend Henny Man. He did a really good space around the Midnight Madness and spaces conversation, and he basically talked about a house can't have a great house built on a shaky foundation. And Midnight Madness, why does my sofa look so, I normally fix that up before I get on here. That's where I lie down and prepare the show. um, um, but yeah, he did a really great space about that. And I think, yeah, things could get worse with Midnight Madness now. It began in the spaces. I think it's kind of fitting that most of the conversation surrounding its potential demise, its downfall, the bitter end, whatever we're calling this, transition, the first fall off, I don't know, whatever this is, I had to give it a dramatic title. I couldn't just say the situation. I had to give it a dramatic title. You can tell I write headlines. But now I've lost my point. Got to do better, Jen. You're an A mic. Can't be doing this. Fallout. Oh, fuck's sake. Yes, that's it. It's only right that the fallout plays out in the spaces, and I think it could get worse. It could get worse. It could get worse before it gets better, or it could just get worse and get nasty. We haven't had a response from Surf to, Bill and JakkBoy. Maybe they've spoken behind the scenes. I don't know. Maybe we won't get a response. Maybe we won't hear anything. Who knows? But yeah, I don't think this is the end by a long shot. We'll see. Surf is probably apologizing to them as we speak. It started in the spaces and it ends in the spaces. Yeah, that could well that's how it, if this is the end, how it definitely played out. Why do I feel like I can hear a mosquito now? Verb, like I say, jumped on this yesterday. He actually had a really funny tweet. He said $1,200 broke your company up. When I come work on my food truck, I can only hire one of y'all. Does Verb actually have a food truck? If he does, that's super cool. Vegan food truck. I'm assuming it's vegan. Wouldn't that? Can you imagine if Verb sold hot dogs or something? If he had a glizzy truck, all meat glizzies, no vegan versions, that would be hilarious. Why can I hear this mosquito? But yeah, basically Verb had a spaces yesterday, or I say a spaces, I think it was more a surviving Sue Surf, or saying I told you so, a combination of those, because obviously Verb has been a vocal detractor of Midnight Madness since he started to be, he foresaw a lot of this. To be fair, several commentators saw this coming, and it's it's something he decided to talk about for a very long time in the Surviving Sue Surf support group yesterday. Now, basically, all he said in there was, I told you so. But it took him an hour and 10 minutes to do that, whilst telling people, y'all are dumb because Sue Surf's mom is a lesbian, but you call me gay. He said, he accuses his listeners of cigarette smoking, meat eating behavior. Not sure what that kind of behavior pertains to, but he wasn't happy with it, and that's what leads to support of surf. You smoke cigarettes, you eat meat, you're gonna support surf. No vegans support surf, um, according to Verb. Um, he and yeah, he had this really pervy. Anyway, I'm not even gonna get into that, but yeah, he was really perving over a couple of the ladies whilst um, accusing Surf of letting perverts into the culture. It was really odd. And then today, he's got another one where there was a clip that I saw just before going on here from OTFMZ where he was hosting Trufo and Big T, who say that Surf owes them both money still. Big T says, yeah, it's not, it's not worth, it's not, it's money. It's not worth doing something over. But yeah, he owes me money, Mr. 55K a battle or whatever. And I think there may be issues with Trufo as well and his Midnight Madness money. Um, Verb also then yesterday, I thought this was interesting. He tweeted he wants one of the newcomers on the phone with Beasley. I told him I'm down to take the new faces from UM5. They had that feel. Let's bring them up. I feel like I should. Someone is probably pausing me or Verb every sentence here. I think he does it on purpose because he's so comfortable in his masculinity. Perhaps. Who do you want to see? I'm only asking my fans. What do you think? So he's Stumbles, Trufo, Sheed, and Nun. Now, he was gunning for a surf battle the other day. He was talking about Bill Collector. He was talking about big name battles, and now he's saying he wants to take a newcomer. I'm surprised again he didn't come out with the surf stuff because it's something they've both said that they would do, a rematch. So I thought that was interesting. Do I want to see him against any of these opponents? Not really. I think that the surf battle would have been an interesting battle because the two of them have a lot to say to each other, and it's a real grudge match. It's something to settle, and I think it's one that is very one sided, but I do think most Verb battles tend to be nowadays. To be fair, um, oh BD Manolo, thank you. That's very nice of you to say, and I appreciate you supporting the content. Yeah, Surviving Sue Surf was the title. He is such a goofball. He's is that a thing? Balti Lily, is that a thing? Carrot Glizzly, say it ain't so. Put them in the bin along with the cauliflower wings. What are we doing? Have they really got carrot glizzies? That's hilarious. That I can imagine Verb chowing down on one of those. That's too funny. They do, and it looks so gross. I'm gonna have to check those out. That is, oh man. But yeah, so yeah, I think it's dope though that he wants to take on a newcomer. He wants to give someone a shot. He's looked at the all of those names in the Midnight Madness tournament, really raise their stock, each and every one of them. We've got Nun on Gnome against Danny Myers. Huge matchup as a result of his performances, recent performances, and then in the tournament, even though he didn't get to the finals, he still managed to land himself on Gnome. Shout out to him. That is super dope. Also, Sheed Happens lost to a great and amazing J2. Actually, it's in a debatable battle. A lot of the culture has Sheed Happens winning, and if even those who don't, definitely he made a fan out of a large he made fans out of a large section of the culture who didn't necessarily support him, understand him, appreciate his style going in. So he definitely raised his stock and would benefit from a verb battle. Truffaut as well, you know, beat Geechee Gotti in the tournament. He beat Geechee Gotti, 3 times champion of the year. There were people who said that belt had his name on it, and it clearly didn't. It clearly didn't. It's now got either JC or Swamp's name on it. But yeah, really, really did great in the tournament as well. So would deserve the look. Stumbles as well, someone who impressed in the tournament. There were questions about whether he would be able to, you know, be consistent. If he could give us 3 rounds, then, you know, he could be fire, but we just can't, we haven't seen it. And then we saw it in the snake battle. But I think since then, he's damaging his stock, perhaps. I think all of this extra antics outside of the battle, and let's not forget, the culture condemned largely Stumbles for, you know, the acquiring, the means in which he acquired the Midnight Madness belt the first time. You know, they jumped Tony Bro and Snakeyez, Stumbles and his crew, took the belt, bagging them, you know, stamping on faces and shit. It was nasty, and Stumbles was persona non grata. People were not happy. He turns it around with the Snakeyez battle. People are championing him. He's won the belt. He's a hero. He's, you know, big redemption story. He had fire performance, some crazy haymakers, said some really sick shit. Everyone's loving him. Now, you know, obviously, if you haven't been paid, if you haven't gotten your dues, there's, you know, I'm not telling you don't get your money. I'm not trying to tell you not to feed your children. And also, rest in peace. You just lost your father, I see on the timeline as well. So, a lot of emotions going on there. R.I.P. to Dad, and prayers out to Stumbles and his family. Big loss, you know. One I can relate to, so I know how difficult that can be. But one of the things I think that is reflecting badly upon him is that JakkBoy, one of the things JakkBoy said is that Bill and I reached out to him to pay him the $1,200 that Surf, I think I left this out. Surfer said he gave him $800. He said Stumbles would get half of the $2,000 right away, and then the other half at the next Midnight Madness. But he only got $800. Now, I don't know if Surf said initially next at the next Midnight Madness to make sure Stumbles comes and defends the belt and, you know, adds the value that he's now bringing to the brand rather than kind of taking away whatever leverage he's built up. Comes back and defends the belt on Midnight Madness because he's great for promo. He's, you know, people are going to be coming for him. It's a big storyline there. So saying, I'll give you the next half, the back end for the next battle, or at the next Midnight Madness. That didn't happen anyway. He gives Stumbles $800. Stumbles comes out and is talking about it everywhere. Something in me makes me wonder if those belts cost $600 each, and kind of Surf is just deducting $1,200 because I paid $600 for 2 Midnight Madness belts and you've sullied them twice. So there, I'm deducting. I'm not. You can get $800. I'm taking what I paid for the Midnight Madness belts. I don't know. That's just my speculation. But either way, I think when I think him not wanting to take the money from JakkBoy and Bill Collector, who are Midnight Madness, makes it seem as though there's a personal issue there with Surf. So when you're someone like me, like, no, if you're told you should get 2,000, even if it's not without blame, if that was what was agreed upon, then that's these people have enough money to make it happen, and should make it happen, apparently have enough money to make it happen. That should definitely happen. But he's saying, you know, he didn't want to accept the money from Bill and Jack because Surf said he would give him the money. And yeah, I think it's kind of what did I say it the other day? The battle rap axe or something, or the pendulum. The battle rap pendulum can swing so quickly. 1 minute you're up, you're the talk of the town, the star of the show, the flavor of the month, and one thing, and it doesn't even have to be a battle, can have you, at the complete other end of the popularity spectrum. So, yeah, I think Stumbles needs to be wary of that. Was talking the spaces earlier that I was talking about was Doc Petty's spaces, lanes and levels. Shout out to Doc. That is something that we talked about in their earlier media training. It's something that I think someone like Stumbles and a lot of the battle rappers would definitely experience or benefit from. Doc Petty, shout out to you. Sounds about right. The number is quite precise, right? 800. Now, if Surf has 800, does he not have 1,000? For me, it just seemed it seemed odd, and if I put myself in those shoes, and it's like, why would you give him 800? Maybe that's why, because motherfucker, you sullied my belts. You devalued them, and now you're not even coming back. Fuck my brand, you said. You didn't want it. You just wanted to take it from him. Okay, I'm going to take from you. Who knows? It's my speculation. Like I said, either that or a public relations person. Ooh, that's an idea. Yeah. Some PR people in battle rap. That wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. That would be very petty for sure. Yes, happy Wednesday to the good doctor. Ayo. But yes, so that's the status of Midnight Madness right now, and that conversation has kind of played into a conversation about the spaces. Did the spaces ruin battle rap? Now, again, like I just said, I was talking about this in the spaces earlier in lanes and levels. And when I was adding to my notes from yesterday, there are lanes and levels. And when it comes to the spaces, knowing your lane and level is so important. Doc Petty mentioned, being the ability to read the room, and something I'd spoke about in there was the importance of separating, being able to create boundaries, and separation of battle rappers, fans, media where appropriate in the spaces. So many great things have come from the spaces. Midnight Madness, just to name one. So many battle rappers' careers have started. New battle rappers, their careers have started in the spaces. We've seen great events put on in the spaces, networking, collaborating, friendships, all sorts of things, positive things, promo, necessary things. Things that really advance people's careers, put money in their pocket. I've had money put in my pocket because of the spaces or as a result of being in the spaces. So, there are very positive things that happen in there, fruitful, necessary things. It's a great resource. But I think it's a new tool for the culture, and we've got to learn how to use it properly. And I think there's always going to be some misuse along the way, but we're new at this spaces stuff. It's a pretty new thing, and we're still working it out. I think one of the things that would help is really there are great spaces where fans and supporters debate amongst themselves who won that battle, who's your top 10, who's, the new Midwest movement, whatever it is. Come and support this league, come and support this local thing, where supporters really get involved, get in tune, get to share their passions, get to have debate, whatever, really healthy spaces. There are spaces where battle rappers come and they clash and they create storylines and they drive agendas, build narratives, build grudges, all of that stuff. Sometimes pass on knowledge. You often see the battle rappers in there just dropping absolute gems for other battle rappers, for for supporters. Just, some real wealth of knowledge gets shared in there. So yeah, a lot of good stuff happens in them, as well as the drama, the negativity, the fuck shit, the sensationalism that you can get anywhere. That you can get anywhere in battle rap. If you want that sort of stuff, there is already a platform that has been churning out that sort of content for a very long time. So this is just another place where we now do that. Unfortunately for the spaces, that means, a lot of that is recorded. It's in public. Sometimes in that group mentality, people show out. People want to clout chase when there's battle rappers in the spaces. People want to flip flop, say, their favorite battle rappers, Carrot, Glizzy. So yeah, it's like most modern internet age tools, it's a double-edged sword, and there are benefits and drawbacks of it. But yeah, I for one, I'm a big fan of the spaces. I think, with a bit more fine tuning, people will get a little more, I think they'll become less of a negative place. But one thing we love to say is, in fact, we're going to look at some of the top tweets and take a look at what the culture has to say about this whole spaces argument. So I went around and just had a look at some of the bits, the tweets that I thought was interesting on this. Let me see what the chat is saying first of all. Madame Pettis is saying people are still learning effective rules of engagement. That is such a fact, right? Effective rules of engagement. I love that term, because that's exactly what it is. How do we operate and communicate properly in these spaces? What's the rules? What I am allowed to do in here? Some spaces are very well kind of policed. I don't want to say police, maintained, operated, run. The rules are very clear. And that is clear throughout. At any time that you can go in there, it's, if you have any ounce of common sense, and a lot of us don't. So that's also a factor. But yeah, this is something we're still working out. Big Bag Jazz says, if you don't know her, she's a battle rapper out of New York. She's pretty dope. Got a few battles out that you might want to check her out. So yeah, give her a follow. She says Twitter Spaces is the worst thing to happen to battle rap. She thinks it's the worst thing. Jazz is someone I rarely see in the spaces. Been in there a few times that I've seen, but not a frequent guest. Dree says Spaces can't and didn't ruin battle rap. Spaces is literally only a button. It's only a button. Just think about it in my chest voice for a second. If you have to think about it, because it really is. Does that little button in the center of your Twitter homepage have the ability, or the little circles at the top, does that, if that button has the ability to ruin battle rap, then there's something. It says more about battle rap than it does about the spaces. I thought that was a great point. Tone Bro says, I dip in spaces to promote MCs, leagues and battle rap events. That's kind of it. Pro tip, if they start going on about something you didn't like, tap the leave button in red at the top right. It works 100% of the time. That's definitely something I've heard many a time come from Doc Petty as well. Mallow Cheat Code says spaces ruined battle rap. Now, I wish I got an enlarged picture of this particular tweet, because if we zoom in closely and have a look, just here, there, right there, what you can see is not a dirty shoulder. It's a Midnight Madness tattoo. Mallow Cheat Code is hashtag cheat code is one of the supporters, one of the fans of Midnight Madness, who went out and got, is that bleach? went out and got a tattoo of Midnight Madness. I don't know if this was before or after Surf announced anyone with a tattoo will get him free. But yeah, he's got a tattoo of Midnight Madness, and he says, yeah, Spaces ruined battle rap. That Mallow has some bias on this. Mallow is not an objective voice on this point. It's a little it's a little close to his heart. It's a cause close to his heart or shoulder. Rashad says 95% of the battle rap culture never got attention before Spaces. That's the problem. You guys grew up lame and corny. Ooh, he has a point. He has a point. The Spaces can really propel you to, right next to your favorite battle rapper who you've been watching for years and years and years. And if you lack couth and decorum, you're going to show your ass, and we've seen it time and time again. Tonebro comes back to add, all Spaces did was shine a black light on the zeitgeist of modern battle rap. Ooh, bars. Amplifying the petty, irreverent, chatty, vindictive over the respectful, jovial, artful aspects of the culture. These nasty things always, these things always self-correct, but damn, this is a nasty era right now. I think Tone Bro's definitely got a point there. It definitely amplifies, right? These things always existed, or in modern battle rap existed before the space, but the Spaces have allowed them to amplify. We'll sort it out, but it's nasty right now. Doc Petty says Spaces didn't ruin battle rap, clout chasers did. As a space host, Lanes and Levels with Doc Petty is thriving. That is an absolute fact. I can attest to that. We laugh, discuss, live and debate battle rap. We keep it civil, and everyone who gets with the program gets a chance to speak. And then, because he's Doc Petty, or Glock Petty sometimes, he says, it's not the Spaces, bro. It's you. You see you. It's not the Spaces, it's you. Doc Petty told him. Queen Brit says, it's the people saying Spaces kill battle rap, but Beyond the Spaces discussing battle rap and everything else for me. Ooh, call out the hypocrite. Call out the hypocrites. That is it. That is it. The people saying is the people saying Spaces kill battle rap, but be up in them same spaces, often talking about everything but the battle rap. It's such a fact. Lily says a lot, clout chasing distorts a lot of it. That is a fact. Absolutely. Tom, salute to you. Glad you're here and laughing. Bill Collector left Midnight Madness. Yes, he did, Diance. Maybe check back when we finish the stream, or I'll check back on YouTube later. We had a little conversation, but yeah, Bill Collector has announced he is leaving. JakkBoy has left. Whilst he initially said he wasn't gonna leave after the drama, he said, "No, I'm out. I've had enough. I'm gonna start my own league." And Bill Collector has definitely come out and done just that. Carrying on with the tweets. Someone says, also Jackie Marie says, battle rappers already had all those praise problems. The Spaces just amplified it, echoing Tone Bro's tweets. And everyone saying Spaces ruin battle rap is hilarious. That's a fact. Jazz replies to a comment about social media and YouTube from Cola, saying social media was never bad for battle rap. YouTube is actually the best thing to happen to battle rap. You whiling, and the Twitter Spaces has way too many cons, outweighs the few pros, and I hate that. Now, I agree with this in part. I think for some people in some spaces, yeah, definitely outweighs the pros. The cons outweighs the pros, but that depends on where you shop. Like if I go to certain grocery stores, then the amount of bullshit in that store, the amount of stuff that is going to poison my body and make my kitchen stink outweighs the beneficial good stuff in there. Then I go in another grocery store and, you know, it's all goodness, or a majority of it is goodness, going to nourish me, going to feed my soul. Where are you shopping at? You know, where are you getting your shopping from? If you go to one store and everything you get is feeding you poison, why do you keep going back? You like poison, you're toxic. Going back to Glock Petty, it's not the spaces, it's you. um where are we? We'll look at just a couple more. Can't wait till we take them away, says someone else. End the spaces. Twitter, please get rid of the spaces. Elijah Straight counters that, saying there are a lot of good productive spaces to tap into outside of battle rap. Talks on economics, marketing, world news, etc. You can really learn some things and gain new perspective up here. That is an absolute fact. Even inside battle rap, there are several people who host spaces on a regular basis that have nothing to do with battle rap, or even in the battle rap titled spaces, the topics drift, and there are so many wide, you know, we're such a culture of disparate people. So many different people watch, so many different demographics are fans of battle rap, that when you combine in these spaces, there's always intelligent conversation. But especially outside of battle rap, if you look, you will find it's got nothing to do with the Twitter spaces. And again, it's not the spaces, it's you, or in this case it's battle rap, although not quite. Spaces didn't ruin Ish. I'm glad. Still watching battle rap whenever I feel like it. The problem is you that hate the spaces, act like you're forced to click on it and listen when you're not. That is a fact. No one is forcing you. Nobody is forcing you to participate in the spaces. If you don't like the spaces, don't get involved with them. Also, you know, if you don't like the negative spaces, don't get involved in those ones. I think as a consumer, as a fan of the culture, especially if you're on Twitter, even if you don't consume, if you don't indulge in the spaces, if it's not one of your little vices, then you still have a right to, do what you want. But you're still a valid voice, perhaps, in the conversation. But as to whether the spaces are a good thing, but you're commenting from the outside, so maybe your voice doesn't really add much weight to the conversation. Talk about something else. Debate Cal versus Lux. Battle rap is the worst thing to happen to spaces. It's used as a platform to destroy, slander, and ostracize others. That's not what the space is intended for. The personalities within battle rap is a problem. I think we kind of touched on that a little bit already. Now, again, this is something that we talked about a little in Doc Petty's space earlier on. Platform to destroy, slander, and ostracize others. We are in battle rap, where the name of the game is to destroy, slander, and ostracize others amongst the battlers. You know, that's what we... The thing is, it's like, that's what we want to see on the stage. So is it any surprise that there is a huge part of the culture that consumes the drama, and also competition, bravado? You can't with me. These are all concepts that are integral to our... Why do I always have my mic so far from me? I hope you're not picking up the background noise. Someone let me know if I need to close my windows, because I've got some tractors going, or not tractors, some construction going ham outside. But yeah, these concepts are and elements are essential to hip hop culture, and are really part of what makes it thrive, what continues and encourages diversity and development in the sport. So if we take those elements away, battle rap becomes a safe space, and no one wants that. No one wants that. It sounds like whistling. It's gone. Yeah, thank you, Doc. I think it's because I pulled my mic closer to me, so my now doesn't have to work so hard to try and find my voice. I don't know why it sits over there when my mouth is promptly attached to my face over here. It's all love in rap. Finally, this is it. As long as, as long as it's kind of settled amicably and things don't turn too rough, then it's all good. But yeah, like I said, I think my summary is that it's like anything, a double-edged sword, and very difficult to have oversight on and control, because the access is there for everyone. But I think the main kind of core of the culture will get it together. There's always going to be drama, though. Don't, that's not going anywhere, because there's people who are here for it. So yeah, we are. I think we've killed that topic. Let me know if you're watching on YouTube later on. First of all, come and watch on Caffeine. If you're on YouTube, hit the like. If you're on Caffeine now, share the broadcast. Do all of that good stuff to help push the show and the platform up into the algorithms. But definitely let me know. Did the spaces ruin battle rap? What do you think? What's your opinion? Are you a space fan? Are you a space ranger? Do you disagree? Did I say something to make you upset? Maybe I touched a nerve. Let me know in the comments. And what do we think about the end of Midnight Madness? Potentially. Do we want to see it without Jack and Bill Collector? Can it continue without Jack and Bill Collector? Surf said it was a three-headed monster. Well, now it's just a snake. Ooh. I didn't... I had to run with the wordplay, but I don't necessarily mean the double entendre. But I had to run with the wordplay. It was too good when I saw it coming, because that's, if you got a three-headed monster, you're not visualizing three snakes. That's what I'm visualizing, and you cut one off. What's that? Is that the Hydra? Is that a Hydra? Three-headed snake? I don't know. Anyway, that's what I saw. Now we've got a snake. Sue Surf is the snake left standing. Do we want to cut his head off? Jumped all the way out of the window with that. It's a Hydra. Okay, yeah. But no, I'm not saying that. Surf, we got Surf left. And the possibility that the Backstreet Boys will get back together. So, we can't... we can't. Yeah, I know. I got carried away. I'm sorry. It happens sometimes. I just take it too far. I played too much. But yeah, what we are going to do now is we're going to get into a battle. Why when I say battle now, do I just sound like other people saying battle, imitating me saying battle? It's a whole Escher painting of battles. Have I ever battle rap before? No, I actually, do you know what? I've told this story a couple of times, so I can't even lie. Yes, I have battle rap before. I've had one battle before I really came into the culture, when I was just sort of the first person that I connected with, he was a fellow battle rap fan. I met on Tinder, actually, back in the days when I was trying to date, when there were men who wanted to date me and then take me out once and ghost me and never hear from them again. But that's another story for another space, or maybe Rita and Anwar's relationship Thursdays, if that comes back. But yeah, met this guy on Tinder. Love you too, Dot Petty. Met this guy on Tinder, and he we were talking about battle rap, or he just said to me one day, "What are you doing?" And I was like, because I too honest. I said, "I'm watching some battle rap. It's my thing. Have you heard of it? Smack DVD, da da da." And he's like, "No, you're kidding. You're kidding. You are not watching battle rap." So, we made this connection, and then one day he said something like, "I'd smoke you." I said something, and he said, "Oh, you got bars," and I kind of went along with it. He's like, "Yeah, but I'd smoke you," because he actually raps and stuff. And I was like, "No, just foolish mortal. Of course you won't." And he called me out, and I don't do well to being called out or challenged. And he said, let's battle. So I said, bet. And went and wrote around, memorized it, filmed it, and sent him my round, ether round as well. I sent him, I basically, whilst constructing the round, I was realizing this is the point of no return. We can't date now. We can't date. Like, like, I'm now preparing slander for you. I'm, reducing you to a waste man in bars. I cannot see you. Like, we can't get past this. So I had bars in there about, him talking himself into the friend zone. It was fire. But yeah, that footage, deleted it from my phone ages ago to save storage, hoping that he would have the footage. He denies having the footage. I feel like he still has it, but he doesn't want it to come to air. So yeah, that's my story. About the time I was a battle rapper, that one time at band camp. And the funniest thing about that story is that I've known Dude now for several years, and we connected on Tinder. Really cool with him. Then connected over battle rap. He helped me when I was launching my channel. We still talk now, and we've never met still. He lives, not too far away from me, down the road from my mum actually. But yeah, never met. Tom Tom says he doesn't want to battle me. Yay, wise man, Tom Tom, wise man. It's not something for the faint-hearted. If I ever was to battle, though, it would be a long night for someone, and they would cry in the car. That's what I'm saying. It won't happen, though. It won't happen. We don't want the smoke, Jen. Yeah, I would never battle a lady either. I would never. I've got way too much love and support for the ladies in the culture to want to ruin my relationships with them, and that's what would happen, because I would be vicious. I don't think I know how to. Yeah. I like ignorance and violence in my battle rap. I don't know how we could mend relationships after battling, so that won't be happening. Superfaxers.pay. But yes, what we're gonna do is we are gonna move on. Which is what got me distracted in the first place. We're going to move on to a battle. But before I do that, I'm going to take a short intermission because I've got to run to the ladies. What I'm going to do, we're going to watch J2 versus Prestavia from the recent Ladies and Gentlemen Chrome 23 Remy Ma card. Shout out to this battle. Shout out to the event. Had its ups and downs. But I've really appreciated at least two of the battles that we've had from it so far. Loved Hustle and Vixen. Audio issues notwithstanding, loved that battle. I think it was, the battle that we wanted. It just wasn't in the right technical environment, let's say. But J2 versus Prestavia was an absolute blinder. Again, referencing Doc Petty earlier, you mentioned this in the spaces, and talking about, he said going into it, somebody had said that J2 would need to be, and this is something we also talked about on VS a little bit. J2, he's in front of a Chrome 23 crowd, Remy Ma, New York female battle rap fan crowd, which has a large gay fan base. Potentially he can go in there, and he's super disrespectful, and sometimes he has those super disrespectful gay bars that no one else in the culture can drop but him, and they hit really hard. But he's tailored his material to a URL audience. Maybe he'll get into that bag. And Doc was saying, there was someone saying that that's the only way he beats the heavy punching super Christian, but still will talk to your soul, punch your head off, and give you some real talk from Prestavia. That's not what happened. Spoiler alert. That is alert. That is not what happened. No. Uh, yeah. Crazy battle. We're going to get into it. What we're going to do first is we're going to go back to the way we started. I'm going to end this recording quickly, start a new one.